And we are live. The New York Yankees are 7-2 to start the season, but even with that, it's not enough for Yankee fans. Buckle up. We're here for a great conversation.
What are your thoughts when facing an opponent?
There is no opponent.
And why is that?
Because love does not exist.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Tuesday, April 7th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by the compañeros this morning. We got a special one. I got my guy, the Ace Avenue, and we had to throw out the extension to another Rican in the building. My guy, Jason Custodio, mi hermano, ¿cómo tú estás?
Estoy bien. I'm good, fellas. Good morning, everybody.
Ace, how you feeling, brother?
Doing good, man. You know, Yankees best team in the AL. So I'm excited to talk about it. After the day off, first of all, happy belated Easter to everybody out there as well. Hope you guys had a good one. And another full week of New York Yankees baseball.
Absolutely. A happy belated day of the resurrection for those of you out there that celebrate Easter. Happy Sunday for everybody who missed us this past Thursday. Happy opening weekend for the New York Yankees as well. Ace and Jason. Like I said, the Yankees start the season 7-2. We'll get into the opening series. We'll get into all of that. I want to shout out the chat before we continue. And first, before I shout out the chat, if you guys see Jason Custodio is with us this morning. Ace put the link to his channel in the comment section. So if you guys can, hit my brother with a subscribe. Grace couldn't be here because she has some construction going on. So she had to throw in the sick day. So we sent out the bat signal to our guy, Jason Custodio. And we're going to have ourselves a good conversation as Grace Monroe graces us with the fine tunes in the morning. Theo Nosebleed section is here. Theo Nosebleed section, salute. Good morning. I hope all is well. John the Beagle Dad is in the building. Our friend Tina, how you doing? Salute, Tina. CK.
That's Nosebleed. Nosebleed changed his handle.
Oh, he changed his handle. Wow, because this one says Nosebleed Section 405. Chris FK. Okay. Theo Nosebleed Section with the second one. John the Beagle Dad, how are you doing? Grace Monroe is in the chat. Good morning, Grace. We miss you guys. We miss you. Miguel Salvador is in the building. Miguel, how you doing? Nathaniel Crenshaw is here. My brother Yankee Dave is in the building. Yankee Dave, how you doing? 80 snaps. Salute. 3 capital S's. Zoe, the engineer, is in the building. Our good friend Jose Medina is here. My guy Marky Teammaker is in the building. Marky Mark, how you doing? If you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But like I said, to start the cold open, the New York Yankees are 7-2 to start the season. But even with the Yankees being 7-2, it's not enough for some Yankee fans. We've played 9 games. We've looked like the best team in baseball, but even with that start to the season, it's not enough for some Yankee fans. Some Yankee fans are still complaining about Aaron Boone and his questioned decision-making late in the game. I understand Sunday you wanted to get that sweep against the Marlins, but like I said, behind the scenes, Saturday's game was a game that we should have lost, but we won. And Sunday's game was a game we should have won, but we lost. In 162 games, that's what happens in baseball. Ace, Jason, whoever wants to take it, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jay. We'll let you start.
I mean, look, it's hard to complain when you 7-2 and you look at the rest of the AL East and you see what's going on there. So I don't want to be the Debbie Downer and complain too much, but I think some Yankee fans, it's like a PTSD, you know, because we've seen kind of these flaws that this team has, and it's kind of poking its ugly head, you know. But with that being said, 7-2, you can't complain. Like Hector said, the game on Saturday, we were supposed to lose that game. We ended up stealing that one. And the game on Sunday, we were supposed to win, and we ended up losing. It is what it is. That's going to happen over the course of 162. So overall, I'm excited about this team right now, guys.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm excited about this team. I think that we are hands down the best team in the AL. The only team that concerns me is the Dodgers. I think we can beat everybody else with how we started, especially with how the pitching has started as well. But it is also concerning because this team has yet to click on all cylinders, but you could also look at that like a good thing. You're winning games, and this team isn't really fully there yet. It does have its problems, and we're going to talk all about it. But yet they're still able to get wins at the end of the day. But it's just like Jason was saying, a little bit of PTSD, especially from last year where one game made the difference. So I don't blame Yankee fans with the 2 losses, especially with how they kind of panned out, where people kind of are blaming Aaron Boone for both of the 2 losses. And if it wasn't that, if that wasn't the case, we could be 9-0, but we're not. But we're still one of the best teams in the league. But it does happen throughout 162. But you want to keep these type of losses to a minimum. But it's also a perception thing. If we would have lost on Saturday and won on Sunday, maybe the outlook is different. People feel differently. But it's a what have you done for me lately? And the last game that we saw was a loss that the Yankees kind of blew.
Yeah, I got to piggyback of what both Jason and Ace said. When you look at the first 9 games of the season, you really can't complain that much. Like Jason said, you don't want to be a Debbie Downer because your team is 7-2. Yes, there were some things, especially in the game on Sunday, that make you scratch your head. When Paul Blackburn came into the game a few games ago when we lost against the Giants, I was like, oh yeah, that's it. We lost. Like that's going to happen. This Paul Black, it was against the Mariners that he came into the game. And I was like, yeah, Paul Blackburn's in the game. We're going to lose that game. But on Sunday, the bullpen, which to start the season was the big highlight. Everybody's talking about the 3-headed monster, Jake Bird. Jake Bird looked shaky. Like the bullpen looked shaky that Sunday against the Marlins. And shout out to their shortstop Xavier Edwards, who's got a hit in every game to start the season. I don't know what the box score in Miami's game yesterday, but the Miami Marlins, they're not just a team that's just a pushover. They're a young, scrappy team. They have some young, promising pieces, and if they put it together, they could be contending in the NL East. So yes, we lost against the Marlins, but they're not the Marlins of yesteryears that you could just go in and you could guarantee a sweep. You got to put some respect on their name.
Yeah, I agree. They're feisty as hell, man. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell you what, the NL East is looking like what the AL East was supposed to be so far. The Marlins are tied for first, along with the Mets and the Phillies. So they got a tight race there. The Marlins are a good squad. They're a good lineup. They got some good young hitters in there, and they're feisty. So, look, the bullpen has been great to start the season. This was bound to happen at some point. Like, you're not going to be perfect throughout the season. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt and hope that they can bounce back and recover this upcoming series.
Yeah,
I had put it in my notes when I was getting my article together for Sunday's game. But when you look at the Yankees, I think when you look at the Yankees, right? If there's anything to complain about, the bullpen, okay, you can say that the bullpen has some question marks. But to me, the biggest concern for the Yankees are the 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters. And when you look at how they performed so far to start the season, on Sunday's game before Jazz Chisholm came through in the 9th inning with that 2-run double, the Yankees 6, 7, 8, and 9th hitters, they were like 0-9 going into the bottom of the 9th with several strikeouts already in the game. I think they're combined 22 WRC plus or something like that negative before Sunday's game. They're basically the worst 6, 7, 8, and 9th hitters to start the season. And if you want to nitpick anything, you can nitpick the production from the bottom half of the lineup. Shout out to Future who's in the chat. Future, I miss you, my guy. I hope all is well.
yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that because this is a main point that I wanted to hit on today's show. I'll even add one more to that. 6 through 1 is kind of a black hole. Now, Trent Grisham is getting on base. He is walking a lot, but he's still batting 172 at the end of the day. But like you had said, Jazz to Wells to Caballero to McMahon to top of the order to Trent Grisham hasn't produced like we would like them to. We are kind of getting carried by the meat of the order with Ben Rice, Aaron Judge who woke up this last series. Everybody that's concerned about him, regretting that now. Cody Bellinger as well, and Giancarlo Stanton, who had a couple of bad games but still has produced overall. So we have been getting carried by the heart of the order. Am I concerned? A little bit, I would say slightly, but baseball is a game where 2 or 3 or 4 hitters can carry you a week. and they get hot. You don't want everybody hot at the same time because then they do get cold at the same time.
True.
But we do need better production from the bottom of the order. Ryan McMahon, who was also benched for today's game, Ahmed Rosario is starting in his spot against a right-handed pitcher. Think about that as you would. But he's been terrible over there at third base. Outside of getting the first hit in his opening day, he went 0 for 21 and finally did get his second knock of the season. Not just offensively, but defensively, he hasn't been good as either. Jose Caballero has yet to, as much as all of us wanted him to kind of take the job right here for Anthony Volpe, he's completely left that door open offensively and defensively. He looks terrible. Austin Wells behind the plate has been great. But it's just crazy how offensively he just can't get it together. When Austin Wells was first brought up, he was known for the bat and the glove needed work. And now since he's been on the pros, it seems like gradually it's becoming the reverse. The glove is getting better and the bat is getting worse. So it's like when you have the three hitters back to back to back, it just causes you to have a black hole in an inning where you're really only playing 6 innings is what it feels like.
But Jason, before you go real quick, guys, if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're sitting on 12 likes on the live. We got over 30 people in the building. If you guys can, hit the likes, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you guys can, interact with the poll that's in the chat. The more you guys interact with the polls, hit the like button, share the live as well. The more YouTube will add more people and push this in the algorithm. My fault, Jason. Go ahead, brother.
No, yeah, like I agree that the bottom half of the lineup is the biggest concern. And the reason why it's the biggest concern because there's no backup coming. There's nobody else to replace anybody on that bottom half of the lineup. The bottom half of the lineup has been crap. It's been terrible. Like, let's be honest. You
Basura.
got McMahon batting .087, Wells 167, Chisholm 194, Caballero 129. What a disappointment there. Look, and there's no cavalry coming to save that bottom half of the lineup. Whereas
Volpe?
Volpe, unless he's just saving grace. But I would say, but the bullpen, I would say that the bullpen, we got some young arms waiting fresh down there in the farm. I.e. Lagrange or somebody, or even when Rodon and Cole comes back, you can move Weathers to the bullpen or Luis Hill, or however they figure that out. So the bullpen. It has there's backups coming. They have replacements available if they need to. But the bottom half of the lineup, this is what we got, guys. And the bench, this is it. Gerchek, Rosario, those are the only replacements you could throw in there. So the bottom half really worries me. I'm not gonna lie, it's concerning.
I'm gonna say this when you, and I'm not trying to beat up on this player, but when you look at Jose Caballero, Yankee fans, this is how you know what separates an everyday player from a player that's a role player. You can have a player that you see in spots look really good, and that's what we saw from Jose Caballero after we traded for him. But the everyday spotlight on him, it's a lot heavier than it is when you're a role player coming off of the bench. And if you're Anthony Volpe, you gotta be sitting back saying, you see, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, Yankee fans, to be the shortstop for the New York Yankees. But if you're a Yankee fan, you want the team to figure it out. Personally, I think Jose Caballero is banged up. I think he's fighting through it. I remember when I was in Puerto Rico covering the World Baseball Classic, there was a game against Panama in Puerto Rico where Caballero, he made an amazing play at shortstop, dived, and he made a throw that looked a little bit off the line. If you guys remember coming into spring training, Jose Caballero looked phenomenal at shortstop. We were all talking about, look at how Jose Caballero is doing. Anthony Volpe, he went to the World Baseball Classic, and since coming back, these throws just haven't been there. He's bouncing them. He's not getting them across. Some people could probably call me a conspiracy theorist, but I have no tinfoil hat on my head. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing. And if you're somebody who watches the game of baseball, Ace, you do one of the best watch-alongs that are out there. So you watch every inning, every pitch, every at-bat. You see the throws that Jose Caballero is making, and you can tell something's not right. They're bouncing. He's throwing it from shortstop to first base like Roman Anthony is throwing it from left field to home plate.
Yeah, you're right.
Throw that in there.
Yeah.
I had to. I'm sorry.
No, you're right though, because like it seems like he's overcompensating, right, for it. Because when he's throwing some of the balls, and shout out to Ben Rice. Ben Rice out there like Baskin and Robbins out there scooping it left and right. He
Mhm.
did a phenomenal job this season, much improved aspect of his game. He's taking that next step, which a lot of us were hoping he's gonna do, and especially defensively. But yeah, it seems like a lot of his throws were low. And then it seems like you're trying to overcompensate. So therefore, you're sailing some throws. The only throws that you're taught as a kid hit him in the chest, right? The only throws that have hit him in the chest have been the ones that he's kind of lollipopped over there and kind of just lobbed over when he had the time to do it. So he just doesn't seem like he's right over there or he's even comfortable out there. And no more apparent than the one play that we had over the weekend where it was blooped to left center field, and you had Caballero and McMahon both go out there for it, and it just seems like they're both not familiar with each other's spacing. On top of that, could be a big problem because McMahon in that situation, you got to know the third, and you left third base wide open. The next thing you know, Cody Bellinger throws it away, and it leads to a big inning from them. But it's just a lot of issues that need to be addressed. I like Ryan McMahon, but I'm not letting him hold me up from making a trade for a valuable third baseman if one is available. Like we have the starting pitching and the pitching depth to be able to get it done. But you got to see what's going to happen at the end of the day. And that's not the only issue that we have as well. Like the depth that this team has on the bench is an issue. Like I like JC Escar, we all do. But he kind of got left hanging out to dry in that last situation with on Sunday when it came down to it. Personally, I think the solution is kind of right in front of us, as Aaron Boone would say, but the Yankees don't have the heart to do it. At this point in time, man, call up Jason Dominguez. And I know what you got to do, man. Trent Grisham, who came in this organization as a fourth outfielder, you kind of need to put him on the bench because it provides you that guy that can get on base and that occasional pop that we need from off the bench that they were hoping they were going to get from JC Escara. Yankees won't do it because he's getting paid $22 million, but that's a move that will also help out the bench, get rid of Randall Gerchick, have Jason Dominguez in there, and just go ahead and bench Grisham. I'm not going to say bench Grisham, but his role needs to shift. And I think that'll make this Yankees team a lot better.
Jason Dominguez, so far to start his season down in the minors, he's batting .379. He has 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a .455 on base percentage.
Killing it. And like me and Jason were talking about before, like Jason, I'll let you go ahead and take this next point as far as what you were saying. Dominguez down there in AAA, there's no point in having him down there because we know he's good down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got none. He's got not enough to prove as far as the minor leagues go. Like, I think he should, even if he's just a fourth outfielder up here, and I get it that people want him to play every day. I understand that, but there's nothing for him to learn down there. He's gonna dominate AAA. Everything he needs to figure out is up here at the big leagues. So I think I'm not saying that he should start over Grisham yet. I'm not there yet, but should he have a roster spot over Randall Gerchick? I think so. And it would have came in handy, like you said on Sunday, where they needed a left-handed bat to go up against what's the guy's name? Anthony Bender, the pitcher. Mm-hmm. And the only guy they had available is JC Escara, who, look, I know Boone has been saying that he's a great hitter, and he's, people say in BP he looks phenomenal. He hits it to the deep parts where only Stanton goes, but I've yet to see that in a game. So I would rather have Dominguez there, switch-hitted bat. And he's just more versatile, man. He just fits the Yankees better on what they need right now, I think, off the bench, I would say.
Spencer Jones in 30 at-bats in AAA, he has 19 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's been bad. He's a guy that needs to prove himself in AAA. And there are people that think he deserves a shot over Jason Dominguez. No way.
The reason why some people say that, Spencer Jones, his defense is major league ready. Defensively in the outfield, he's major league ready. He's way better defensively than Jason Dominguez, and that's why some people are saying that his defense will get him to the majors before his bat will ever get him to the majors. Jason Dominguez, his bat deserves to be in the majors. I'm a little bit indifferent from when Jason says at this point. April 7th, I know it's too early in the season. With Trent Grisham, the Yankees gave him $22 million. Realistically, they're not going to bench him this early into the season. But after a month, After a month and a half, maybe 2 months, you're going to have to start having that conversation, especially if Trent Grisham is batting below the Mendoza line. If Trent Grisham is batting below the Mendoza line after 2 months of the year, after the first month of the season, he's giving you less than 5 home runs. The on-base percentage is not there. You're going to have start having that conversation about calling up Jason Dominguez sooner rather than later. And when it comes to Randall Grisham, I agree with you 100%, Jason Custodio. Jason Dominguez deserves that roster spot over the veteran. I get it. It's a nice story. It was a Yankee killer at some point in his career. Defensively, he is better than Jason Dominguez. But when you look at the production that the Martian is giving you at AAA, he warrants a spot to be in he warrants being in the majors. He deserves to be in the majors.
Yeah. If you look at Trent Grisham, what's actually saving him is he's tied with a couple of people for the team lead in walks with Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger. His on-base percentage is what's saving him. 368 is a really good on-base percentage because he's seeing a lot of pitches. He's drawing a lot of walks, but we're not seeing any pop from his bat, and it stinks. It's bringing up Jason Dominguez adds depth to the bench. Randall Grichuk shouldn't be on this team. It's as simple as that to me. But it's not just a Trent Grisham thing. It's also other guys got to start coming through as well. Austin Wells, like we talked about before, Austin Wells has 2 hits on the season. Hasn't recorded an extra base hit, hasn't recorded RBI. We need him to get some production. Ryan McMahon needs some production as well. This is why this team is looking like and Jazz just came through with a big hit the other day. But besides that, he hasn't really been producing as much as he's been talking about 40-40 and, he's
50-50.
Yeah, 50-50, and he's going viral for that one clip of speak up when you see a better player than Jazz Chisholm, and he's not speaking up. We obviously know that's just for clicks and that's for fun and everything like that. But when you're putting that out there, people are going to criticize you for that, bro. So our 6-1 has a lot of problems, but fortunately for us, it hasn't led to a lot of losses. It hasn't affected us win-wise because the meat of the order has been holding it down, and then the pitching has been great. And up until the last couple of days, the bullpen's been solid as well. I'm not going to act like the bullpen is completely devastated over the last, over this series, but against the Giants and the Mariners, they did well. I'm not panicking over the Yankees. We're 7-2, and we've lost by a grand total of 2 runs. Both of our losses were 1-run games.
Yeah. And I'm going to piggyback of what you said and throw it over to Jason. First of all, before I do that, I want to shout out to some people that are in the chat. Shout out to my guy E from the Pinstripe Bugle. He was on with Ace. If you guys haven't watched that episode, make sure you guys go to the Ace Avenue. The link to his channel is in the description of this video, so you can check out that video with my guy Evan from the Pinstripe Bugle. Love my guy E.
That's a hard-working dude
content creator. Hard-working dude. Puts out amazing content on social media. Make sure you guys give him a follow on Instagram. He collabs with us with Latino Sports and Uptown Sports TV. He is under our umbrella. Please go give my guy a follow. Same thing with my guy El Delulu, Yankee fan. Love my guy as well. He's doing some work with Latino Sports and Uptown Sports TV during the season, so make sure you guys give him a follow. Eddie Trinidad said, Caballero can steal, but you can't steal first. Got to be able to get on first base in order to put those legs into work. Sean Brownie said 7-2 while not clicking on all cylinders. Yeah, and that's why I'm not pressing the panic button. Shout out to my guy NYCC Money, Caleb Vasquez, my brother from another. He says, I'm interested to see how Cam does tonight in the cold. And I want to leave that on the screen for a second because Max Fried, in that rain delay, I know in the post game, Aaron Boone said the delay didn't really mess up his guys' rhythm and stuff. I'm shocked that with that much of a rain delay, it was the game was supposed to start at 1:00. It started at 5. With almost a 4-hour rain delay, that they still had Max Fried as a starting pitcher. I was shocked that he was a starter because once it was announced that it was a rain delay, Miami, they switched their starting pitcher. So Max Fried, it's the start of the season. We're trying to I know we don't have Garrett Cole. Carlos Rodon had a little bit of a setback in his rehab start. You have to be concerned about your older pitchers. And to me, I think that the Yankees did more of a disservice to Max Fried, who wasn't on his game, and he had to battle through the 6 innings that he pitched.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that this was his worst start where he was looking completely dominated, but he still got us through and still battled. He even wanted to stay out there. You saw it. He was claiming for Aaron Boone to say one more batter, and Boone kind of pulled him. Shout out to New York Rican for the 5. What up, man? Appreciate you. Thank you for help keeping the lights on. Says Jason's defense has improved from the offseason and presently in the minors. Spencer has struck out 19 times and 37 at bats right now. No bueno. Yeah, we know it, man. He's just they got to get work to do. And ultimately, when it comes down to Jason Dominguez, as he was talking about improved defense, I think it's a confidence issue at the end of the day. The Yankees have to continue to instill confidence in this kid, and I think the ultimate way to instill confidence is to bring him up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't think the Yankees are going to make any rash decisions like that just yet. Even with Ryan McMahon, we're gonna see him for a while, before the Yankees make any big moves, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I think look, I would say this: like the roster we see right now is definitely not going to be the same roster. Even come All-Star break, it'll be different. So I'm not overly concerned with that. I do like, especially with the bullpen, I do think that the Yankees have options. The pitching depth in the Yankees organization for the first time in a long time is deep. It's really deep. So they can pivot at any point. So hopefully they do, and hopefully we do see guys like Dominguez and maybe even Spencer Jones fix his K rate issues, and they get their chance at the big leagues. We'll see though. But overall though, I know it's been a lot of negative the last couple of minutes. Overall, look, guys, we're 7-2. You look at the rest of the American League, we're the best team in the American League right now by far. It's not even close. I think the only teams in the Major League Baseball who have a better record than the Yankees right now are the Brewers and the Dodgers, and that's because they played an extra game. So we're in a good spot.
Go ahead, Jack.
No, go ahead, Ace. I'll let you go because I'm about to get petty for a second. Go ahead.
I was about to say, who do you think has been the biggest disappointment in the AL so far?
Oh, so yeah, thank you for setting it up perfectly. You set it up perfectly because I think the Boston Red Sox, they have been the biggest disappointment to start the season. 100%. You got the fans at the stadium at Fenway Park chanting for the owners to sell the team, and rightfully so. This offseason, there was so much hype circled around the Boston Red Sox. There was so much hype how the Boston Red Sox are going to steamroll the AL East. They're going to be the favorite to come out of the AL East and get to the World Series. This offseason, everybody had the Red Sox signing Pete Alonso. He didn't sign with them. They were too cheap. They didn't want to give him that extra year. And when I was at the winter meetings, I was having a conversation with Carlos Baerga and a MLB insider. And in that conversation, they brought up how the Red Sox are the favorite to land Ketel Marte. The next day, the Red Sox didn't want to give up the prospects for Ketel Marte, right? The Red Sox were the favorite to get Joe Ryan from the Minnesota Twins. They were too scared to give up the prospects to get Joe Ryan from the Minnesota Twins. So what were their backup options? Plan B for Pete Alonso was Contreras. It's not the same. Plan B from Joe Ryan is Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is nowhere the same starting pitcher for Joe Ryan. So every time there's hype, and I bring that up, the Boston Red Sox, you got all this hype. You traded one of your better hitters in Rafael Devers because you had a replacement in Alex Bregman. And in the offseason, you were too cheap to give Alex Bregman a no trade clause because Alex Bregman saw your track record. You traded Mookie Betts. You traded Rafael Devers. Alex Bregman is in his mid-30s. He has a family. He doesn't want to have to move and get traded in the middle of the season. So he decided to go for the safer route and sign with the Chicago Cubs. Everything that's happening with the Boston Red Sox right now is self-inflicted by the owner being too cheap and not wanting to spend money. I always bring it up. They traded Mookie Betts because they wanted to get off of a bad contract. That's horrible. That's horrible management of your roster.
Yeah, I agree. Red Sox, but I'm also going to shout out the Toronto Blue Jays. They've been losing some bad teams, dude. They lost to the White Sox. They got swept by the Sox. At least they got injuries.
At least they got injuries they can talk to. The Red Sox, they're just not living up to the expectations. My fault. Go ahead.
But still, though, to get swept by the Sox, to lose the series to the Rockies, like to get smacked the way they did to the Dodgers yesterday, like they might be coming down to form. And, last year I was talking about they were, kind of fraudulent. You got to realize which Blue Jays team are we getting this year? because last year they went to World Series. We know it. They were an inch away from winning the World Series. The year before that, they were last place in the AL East. So which Toronto Blue Jays team are we getting this year? Thus far, they do have a lot of injuries, no doubt, but thus far, they're looking pretty bad out here as well. But yeah, I agree with you with Boston because they had a lot of hype behind them. But right now, sitting at 2-8, and the fans are ready to turn and riot already, it's going to get ugly for them.
My fault, Jason. My fault. Real quick, I just got to read this real quick because Joe Tibbs was one of the prospects that they got back in the Rafael Devers trade from San Francisco. They traded that prospect to the Dodgers for 2 months of Dustin May. Dustin May didn't help the Red Sox at all. And now Tibbs, he's in the minors for the Dodgers. I think he has like 7 or 8 home runs to start his season in the minors, and he can't get called up because there's no spot for him in LA. But if he was with the Red Sox, he definitely would be in the majors. My fault, Jason. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, man, I love it, man. I love seeing Red Sox pain. That's what I love. Now I'm just playing. But yeah, look, it's still really early though. I will say that. Like they have a lot of time to turn it around. Like we got 150 something games left or whatever it is. It's a lot of baseball to be played. So I don't want to get too crazy, right? But it ain't looking good over there for our friends over in Boston. Definitely not looking good for them. And even the Blue Jays too. And I would say this, like, I know I don't want to talk too much about the Blue Jays, but even that's the opening series versus the A's, they could have easily lost a few of those games. They had some late heroics by Alejandro Kirk, who, by the way, is hurt right now. So yeah, like Heck said, they are hurt though. They are hurt team. So this is not the final product that they're gonna have. But this is prime opportunity for the Yankees to really just drive a big wedge between us and the rest of the division. Right now, we're 2.5 games up on the Rays. I don't see why we can't, by the end of April, be 10 games up. The way these teams are playing right now, I think the Yankees could do it, and it'll help. It'll help if you get a nice lead, because we all know that the dog days of summer. Hopefully, we don't get another June swoon boon or whatever they call it. But it'd be nice to have a nice, comfortable lead in the division where we can start giving guys rest and doing things like that,
Yeah. Well, we had a 7-game lead last year, and we know how that ended up happening because we hit the swoon. But this is why fans get so upset over the 2 losses that we had, because you could easily be almost 5 games up right now if you were managed a little bit differently, or if the ball bounced a certain way, or whatever the case may be. But last year it came down to 1 game, and we blew a 7.5 game lead in the division. You can't have that this year. And this Yankees team, I will say this, it feels differently because we have the 2 losses that look kind of bad, but outside of that, this team seems like they're playing with more urgency. I was talking with Evan from the Pinstripe Bugle about this, where we were having the conversation. This team feels different. Like, you see them on the base path, dude. They're taking the base anytime they can. Giancarlo Stanton stole a base the other day. Like, I was blown away by that, going from first to third. We're manufacturing a lot of runs all without the home run, which is what we weren't doing last year. And that's what you need. Now, we'll have a game or two where we're hitting terrible runners in scoring position. That happens because that's baseball. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, the offense has looked good, especially coming off this last series on top of the pitching. But you need a complete effort, because we've seen it in the past where the pitching holds the offense down. Then all of a sudden the bats come through, the pitching starts to give it up. You just need more of a balanced attack all throughout the course of 162.
And to piggyback off of what both of you guys said, especially Jason, it's only 9 games. We're 7-2. I get that. You don't win a championship the first week of April. I understand that. We got a rest of the season to play. The reason I bring that up, when it comes to the June swoon, or the disaster that always happened, the Booney swoon in June that happens for the New York Yankees over the past couple of seasons, one thing or reason why I'm not concerned about that this time around is by the time June comes, Garrett Cole is back in that rotation. Carlos Rodon is back in that rotation. So if you go to tell me that we're going to get in June, by the time June comes around, we're getting Cole back, Rodon's going to be in that rotation with Max Fried, and Cam Slittler is our 4th starter, and Will Warren is our 5th starter. If we're getting 6 innings, 2 runs, 3 runs from Will Warren, I take that from your number 5 starter any day out of the week if you tell me that's what I'm going to get from Will Warren. If you tell me Cam Sliller is going to be the fourth starter in our rotation, Cam Sliller, who's already looking like a top 5 Cy Young candidate, I'll take that. This Yankee team, our starting pitching is loaded. More this year than what it was last year. I do have my concerns for the bullpen. I'm pretty sure that, like Jason said, by the time the trade deadline comes and go, this Yankee roster is going to be totally different, especially when it comes to either third base or the back end of the bullpen. We're going to add some guys here or there, whether Trent Grisham gets benched and Jason Dominguez gets called up. So I want to ask you guys, do you believe in the hype of this team?
Me, I'll not yet, right? I like what I see so far, but I think it's still too early. Even like, and I love Cam Sliller, but I'm gonna put this out there right now. I need to see him pitch more. I think he's gonna be phenomenal, but he only has 2 starts on the season, and people are already saying that he's gonna be Cy Young. I need to see him throw 180 innings in a season. Like he's yet to prove that he can do that. So, but I do have high hopes on him. I really do think that he's the future of this. He's the next Yankee ace, right? In my opinion. But it's still too early to really tell. But I want to believe the hype, but I'm not 100% there yet. I think this team is missing something, and we haven't got it just yet.
Yeah. I'm trying not to drink the Kool-Aid and be a victim of the moment. I really am. It's tough, though, because we're fans at the end of the day, bro. Every win, we're like World Series back on. Every loss, fire Boone, shit like that, man. It's just, that's how it is being a Yankee fan. I'm going to tell you when I'll be bought in, right? Because it is early. No one's played, Yankees haven't played 10 games yet. We're about to play our 10th game tonight versus a very feisty, homeless athletics team that don't have a house. So I'm gonna hold my reservations till June, starting with May. Because, Hector, we talked about it before. I look at that May schedule and I say it's a little bit tough. Then you go through the months of June and July, and then August is a little bit difficult as well. I'm going to hold my reservations until the end of June to say what I really feel about this team and a real evaluation. Because, one, if you're able to get a big lead in the division, and I'm not going to say coast because every win counts. I don't want to coast to the finish. I want more urgency in this team. And I do feel like this team has that urgency because right after the Giants series, we talked about it. Aaron Judge and them talked about finishing series. That's just something we couldn't do on Sunday, but hopefully they continue to learn from it because one game can make the difference in the long haul. But I'm going to hold my reservations till about the end of June, early July, because we've seen this song and dance before. We've seen this movie played out. We've seen the New York Yankees get off the hot starts. Then when the weather warms up, they get cold. Then we've seen them towards the end of the year turn up a switch, get in, play in a wild card round, maybe win a series, and then ultimately flame out. So we've seen this. Hopefully this team that does feel different is different, but I'm going to hold out till the summertime to say if I'm all in on this New York Yankees team, to see if I'm buying the hype.
See this Yankee cup that I got from Yankey Stadium when I was looking. You see me looking around. I have nothing to pour in it, but I'm sipping the Kool-Aid, and I'm only doing that because of what I'm sipping. I was about to say from what I'm sipping, what I'm seeing from the starting pitching. I haven't seen, and I get it. It's been 9 games. Cam Sliller only has 2 starts. Max Fried had 2-3 starts to this. I get that. I understand that. But what we're seeing from the starting rotation is something that I haven't seen, and we're not even 100%. Like I said, Garrett Cole's coming back. Carlos Rodon is coming back. He had a little bit of a setback over the weekend, but we'll get to that later on in the conversation. This Yankee starting rotation has the potential, knock on wood, if everybody stays healthy when the guys come back, to be the best starting rotation that the Yankees have had in a long-ass time, maybe even ever. I've never seen a Yankees staff that had 2 aces to lead it with Max Fried and Garrett Cole. I've never seen that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's just, but there is also question marks there, that we can't just ignore.
True.
But I think even like every season, right, when we have this the Boone June, whatever you call it, right? It's never really the pitching. It's always the offense that they just go obsolete. They just take a vacation in June for whatever reason. And so far, the Yankees offense, aside from Ben Rice, who we haven't got into yet, and even like Giancarlo Stanton, aside from the top half of that lineup, has been really just sketchy, man. Really sketchy. I haven't liked what I've seen from any of the guys, even Jazz Chisholm. Hopefully he wakes up because he had that big double on Sunday. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come for him. But it's just, like I said, I'm 100% in because this is my team, right? I'm a Yankee fan. I want them to win, but I still need to see more. I'm not gonna, go off the ledge for them right now just yet. I still need to see some improvements in certain areas. But I do like so far. I think we have a good chance, especially for the AL. I think that right now we are the best team in the AL.
I gotta ask y'all this question, and folks in the chat, I want to ask y'all this question as well. When it comes to Arroz con Habichuela, Mr. Ben Rice, when do the Yankees give him that extension? Because the Boston Red Sox, it took them 30 games of seeing Roman Anthony at the big league level before they offered him a contract extension. When you look at Ben Rice, the underlying metrics from last year, when it comes to his hard hit rate, when it comes to all that, is finally showing you the baseball player that we all imagine that he can be. Again, it's 9 games of the season, but what you're seeing from Ben Rice is something that we haven't seen since Aaron Judge rookie season. We saw the flashes of it over the past couple of seasons. Ben Rice was another Yankees prospect, just like Aaron Judge, who didn't have that Yankee hype train behind him. And with working on his craft, working in the cage, working with the hitting coaches, Ben Rice has turned himself into a solid MLB player. And during the offseason, I was having a conversation with Julian. Shout out to my guy Julian Galarte from Latino Sports. When we were at the winter, when we was at the winter meetings, I was saying if Ben Rice is a top 5 MVP candidate for the New York Yankees, the Yankees can make the World Series. And you're seeing a top 5 candidate or somebody that looks like a top 5 MVP candidate and Ben Rice.
Yeah. You want to go first, Ace?
Yeah, well, I'm bringing up his contract right now. We're getting like, do you guys know how much Ben Rice is getting paid this year?
He's league minimum, like $1 million, something like that.
Nah, 782,000.
Woo, he's not even at the 7 figures.
So he's not even in pre-arb yet, I think.
Nah, I'm trying to bring it up for some reason. The site I usually go to is messing up right now. But yeah, I'm on Spot Track. It's messing up. I'm trying to see the duration of the. Can you bring it up on your end, Jason?
Yeah, I think
I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
I think the Yankees have control over Ben Rice to like 2029 or something.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. Normally, it gives you the years right under.
It gives you, yeah. It's not given.
But
yeah, it's not giving his full contract details.
I know what I'm gonna say. People are gonna hate me for. Right? I don't think the Yankees should extend him just yet.
Ooh.
I don't think they should just yet. Not yet. Because there's still holes in his swing that I see personally. He cannot hit a breaking ball low and in to save his life right now. I'm gonna keep it 100. I love Ben Rice. He's like you said, he's an assassin up there, man. He's gonna eat any fastball you throw, but he struggles with those split fingers or those breaking pitches low and in. Until I see that he can make an adjustment there, then because the league is gonna figure that out eventually. The Blue Jays have figured it out last year in the playoffs. They're gonna figure that out and they're gonna attack him there. So and look, I just think I wouldn't jump the gun yet on Ben Rice. I saw a comment there. I would prioritize extending Cam Schlittler instead, or something like that. But Ben Rice, he's a godsend. I'm not gonna lie. He has tremendous potential, and he's killing it right now. But he has a hole in his swing that could be exploited, in my opinion.
Let's put that in the poll. Heck, who would they extend first, Rice or
I bet
Cam?
I put that in the poll right now.
As far as me, Rice is in pre-arb right now. The Yankees, knowing how they are, I don't think they'll rush to get it done, especially with arbitration. They'll end up figuring itself out, and he'll end up getting paid what he's worth because it's going to hit the arbitrator. But as far as I'm a little bit, I'm more comfortable paying Ben Rice than I am Cam Schlittler because we know how it is with an arm. Knock on wood, right? Hold on. A pitching arm can give out at any given time. Like all it takes is one wrong thing and it's different. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, Ben Rice is a guy that affects the game every single day. So as far as me personally, I would prefer to extend him first, but I would get them both done at the same time. Like maybe next year, if Cam balls out this year, get them both done simultaneously. And those are your two ace and future maybe captain of the team going forward. And they're both homegrown Yankees. So I'd get them both done.
Can I answer John the Beagle Dad in the chat? You know, when I say the hole in the swing, I mean like he struggles with those breaking pitches low and in. It's not a secret that is his Achilles heel right there. He swings over them, but he crushes anything else. He's gonna crush, and he does crush if you're throwing breaking pitches in the zone. He crushes those too. But that's why I say he has that hole in the swing. There is. And no hitter is perfect, right? Even Judge has holes that you can get him out. But it's a big one that I think good pitchers, right? And I'm gonna say this: good pitchers can exploit that. So he needs to make that adjustment. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen him able to make that adjustment yet. If you look at most of his hits that he's had this season, and I'm not trying to bash. This is not a bash Ben Rice session. My bad, Hector. Hector's looking at me.
Nah, you good, brother. Nah, not at all. Never.
Most of the pitches he's crushing are fastballs and cutters, hard stuff. You know, those breaking stuff low and in. He struggles with. I got to keep it 100. I've seen that with my eyes. That's what I think.
Yeah,
but he's a phenomenal player right now.
I just want to say one rule that we've always had here is myself. I don't want to speak for Jason or Ace or whatever, but I know for me and Grace, we never tell anybody how to fan. We never tell anybody how to have a take or anything like that. Sometimes Grace has a take that I don't agree with, and sometimes I have a take that her or Ace, they don't agree with, right? So just because Jason has a take that folks in the chat may not agree with, that don't mean anything. We welcome everybody's opinion over here at Uptown Sports TV, Yanks Morning Brew. As long as you're respectful, as long as it is a respectful take, we welcome the conversation. I want to point to the poll real quick because I put it in the chat. Who do you want the Yankees to extend first? I put Ben Rice, Cam Slittler. I put both, and I put neither / trade them. So I want to ask you, Jason, because you pointed out holes in Ben Rice, and then you even talked about Cam Slittler just a little bit, saying you want to see more for him. So if you were Brian Cashman, and if you got the phone call from the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they called you up and said, we will trade you Paul Skeens, but you have to start the conversation or the package with Ben Rice and Cam Slittler, you making that move?
If people were going to hate me too, I have to. I have to make that move. We're talking about Paul Skeens. And I get it, the numbers are comparable, the first 18 games and everything, but this is Paul freaking Skeens, guys. Like, it would suck. It would hurt. It'll be painful, you know? And it's one that you might regret later, right? But you might regret not making that change. And, you know, and I'll say this, Hector, it's a little bit of PTSD as of being a lifelong Yankee fan, especially the last 15 years, where I remember a guy like Severino, where at one point where I was like, we got to extend him. We have to extend him. And like, he's the next guy. He's the next ace. And he was phenomenal for a while. And then things, you know, didn't work out. Even like, I remember when people like extend Gary Sanchez. This dude was the next big thing. And the list goes on and on. So I don't want to say that that's the case for these guys, because I do think that Cam Schlitter is not gonna have that trajectory in his career. He's a dog, man. Especially if he figures out his breaking ball. If he could figure out that curveball, he is almost unhittable. You know, that's how good he is. And Ben Rice too. If he could figure out that one hole, I was saying, you know, then the league is really on notice. But I just think it's a little too soon to really, you know, be excited and everything. But should we go out there and give these guys a 10-year contract right now? I don't know.
I'm not sure if it would be a 10-year contract, but you know, to avoid arbitration, maybe offer Ben Rice something like a 6-year deal, 5-year deal, basically almost. Because the Red Sox, they offered Roman Anthony 8 years. Roman Anthony is 21, 22 years old. Ben Rice is 26, 27. He's not a spring chicken. He's not as young as Roman Anthony. I get that. So if I was the Yankees, just to avoid arbitration, I would offer him maybe a 4-5 year at the max, you know, take him to year 32, something like that. When it comes to Cam Slittler, maybe the same type of thing because he's 26 as well.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I say yeah. If it's the right deal, yeah, then why not? It's a little bit of a gamble, but they know what they're looking at. They know what they have, and they have their scouts and everything, and it's probably something that they might explore doing. I think right now it's a little too soon this season, like to really be talking about stuff like that. And then, like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
There are pros and cons to both of them. Like locking them both up early, you'll save in the long run. We've seen a lot of players that are underpaid that got signed early. You could save, but obviously it does come with its cons as well. What if all of a sudden he falls off the cliff? But it's a risk that I'm willing to take, mostly because why? It's not my money. It's as simple as that. So I'm cool with that. And like you lock up these homegrown guys, it just sets a precedent for the clubhouse as well. Like, you know what, we're keeping him, Judge. You can start building around these guys for the future, because guess what? In about another 5-6 years, Aaron Judge isn't going to be here. So we're going to need that next set of Yankees to be the face of the team. And if Cam continues his dominance, if Rice continues to take that next step, because both of their trajectories have been forward, especially a guy like Ben Rice, they've been phenomenal. And like to Jason's point earlier, as far as holes in the lineup, as someone that calls every single game, I see it as well. I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say he's perfect, but I think you fixed those holes in his swing by him being a little more better, having better plate discipline. You got to lay off those low pitches in the zone, especially if they're not strikes. Now, for lefties, that's your bread and butter, that pitch low and inside, especially in Yankee Stadium, where you can punish it over that right field fence. But you got to have a little more discipline and make the pitchers work. And when they make a mistake, punish them for it. But we've been having a great conversation, guys. We got over 62 people collectively. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe to Uptown Sports, Ace Avenue, Jason Custodio. It's all pinned in the comment section, all pinned in the description as well. We're going to be continuing the conversation, so make sure you guys like up, sub up.
Yeah, I just wanted to point something out because we were talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I don't know if because Connor Griffin got called up. Connor Griffin is going to get that contract extension as well from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Francis Romero, if you guys know him, is a very good Latino journalist that's out there. I was with him at the World Baseball Classic, met him last year at the All-Star game. He just posted out on Twitter. I just got the notification. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they're cooking. They have a lot of good young players. They just signed 18-year-old Luis Almeida out of Cuba, Cuban shortstop. This guy's bat has been compared to Alex Rodriguez. He has some holes defensively, but at 18 years old, his bat is being compared to Alex Rodriguez. Is the Pittsburgh Pirates ownership, if they start spending money and they decide, you know what, we're going to keep Paul Skeens, they have a very bright future ahead of them. So if you're a Pirates fan that's out there, I know we're all Yankee fans that's here, but if you have any Pirate fans in your family, in your friend circle, just know they're going to be a scary team if that ownership team decides to spend money. They have a bright future ahead of them.
Also depends on what's going on with the lockout, because if it's formulated differently, they might be able to keep a guy like Paul Skeens. They're sitting at 6-4, and Skeens has not had that great of a start, so they're kind of right in the thick of it in the NL Central. Nobody's out of it yet. You can bury yourself a little bit, but it's still too early in the season to really determine. But we'll ultimately see what happens. But they are a feisty team. They are a team that I would like to see make the playoffs, just because I would like to see Skeens on the biggest stage to see what he can really do. Ultimately, I think he'll be, regardless, I think he's hitting the open market. There's no way you have a pitcher his caliber and he'll sign a contract extension and not let the big teams even bid against him to get that price up. And we know Livy Dunn wants to be in New York, so maybe it's for the Yankees.
Yeah, and I just wanted to always throw this Ben Rice thing because Ben Rice is cooking. Why not? Don't worry, we'll get Jason Custodio an autographed signed Ben Rice jersey before the season is over.
No, I love Ben Rice, man. I just think that I just gotta call it how I see it, man. And
I'm just fucking with you,
and
bro.
He's great, man. But I'm not gonna ignore the fact that like he had some big hits versus Mars, but he also struck out like 7 times, last weekend. Mm-hmm. And right now his strikeout rate is 30%. So look, Ben Rice is phenomenal, and I think he's gonna be incredible. He's incredible right now, but like, am I willing, I don't know if I'm the Yankees. They see the teams like the Pirates. They have to lock up their young guys early. They have to lock these guys up. The Yankees don't really have to do that, you know.
Now,
And
something that
and we have
go
a
ahead.
bad track record of that. That's why I'm saying the Yankees have a bad track record of giving guys premature contracts and extensions, you know, i.e. Hicks, you know,
Well,
and the list
but
goes
yeah,
on, man. So
Now, something that I wanted to bring up, because this is something that has been, for some reason, it's one of the trending topics or the trending conversation on X for some reason. The little cousins in Queens, for some odd reason, just want to poke the bear. And according to the tea leaves, it's been a year. This is from Ben Yole from Mets Twitter. He's also like a beat writer as well. He says it's been a year and a half since Juan Soto left the Yankees for greener pastures, and they're still crying. Not a good look for a team that once considered a winning franchise. What the fuck is he talking about?
yeah. You know
And
what?
we could play. We host a weekly podcast. Ace, you do a daily watch along. Jason Custodio, you got your podcast that you do over there as well. Your live stream. Are you guys complaining and missing Juan Soto, or who's the made up person he's talking about?
I mean, I forgot the dude existed until this morning when I found out he was hurt with a calf strain or whatever. Like I barely ever. I may look over at the Mets to see what they're doing, but I am not. It's like to me, the whole Juan Soto's a Yankee. It's almost like it never happened. It's been so long already. We're going on what, 2 years, and I get it. There are some fans that maybe that's their thing, and maybe I heard that they were chanting, you know, F1 Soto at the stadium, and okay, but to say that, like, to make it seem like the majority of the fan base is worried about Juan Soto's doing, it's crazy, you know, because we're really not. Like I said, I forgot he existed until this morning when
Yeah.
I found out he was hurt. So.
Yeah. Personally, it's crazy. It's different for me because Soto was one of my favorite players, non-Yankees before, and you know, I could appreciate the moments, but it's also time to move on as well. It's just Met fans being Met fans. As much as they want to talk about being Big Brother, they just continue to just do shit like that. And you know, the league perception. Let's talk about that one clip for the San Francisco Giants that went viral of the league perception where the dude, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where the dude was like, "Come on, San Fran, this isn't the New York Yankees, this is the B team." Like that's league perception. That's not even coming from our fan base. They just want to keep it's Yankees for clicks at the end of the day. They just want to keep talking about the New York Yankees, and you know, I got no ill will this year for the New York Mets. Last year was a different story because I did actively root against the New York Mets because it's the same thing. I'm a Miami Heat fan. It was the same thing when LeBron left the Heat. I actively root for him to lose the next year. But then after that, I didn't give a shit because it's business as usual for us. And we'll ultimately see what happens. But, you know, we know who the real big brother is in New York City.
As somebody who covers both the New York Yankees and the New York Mets for Latino sports, I don't have that take. I'm not most Yankee fans. I'm not going to dogpile on the New York Mets. I appreciate my access with the New York Mets. I appreciate being able to go and cover the New York Mets for Latino sports. When it comes to the whole Juan Soto situation, I was one of those Yankee fans that I wanted to see Juan Soto retire, a Yankee retire in pinstripes. I thought it was amazing how the Dominican community came out heavy at Yankee Stadium, seeing the DR flags in right field. I thought that was something special. It hasn't been replicated in Queens to a certain degree. There's been games last year that was sold out that I was there that was very loud with a very loud Dominican presence there in Queens, but it's hard to get from Washington Heights all the way to Flushing. It's a big ass distance. Man, for the Yankee fans that are out there, Yankee fans that are saying F1 Soto in Yankee Stadium is just like Knicks fans that are screaming F Trae Young when the Yankees aren't even, when the Knicks aren't even playing the fucking Hawks or Trae Young. It's very annoying. This entire weekend I was hearing that and I was like, what are you guys doing? Juan Soto, he's not even thinking about the Yankees. So if you're a Yankee fan out there that's trolling the Mets, that's not me.
We also say F off still. So I mean,
I think Boone's comment though was pretty interesting. He said, "I don't think Soto's over the Yankees yet." You know, and they go, the Yankee fans over
that
Juan
may be
Soto.
true.
He's like, are you guys over Juan Soto? And he's like, I don't think Juan Soto's over being a Yankee. You know,
Yeah,
because you
it
can
is
see
what
it.
it is, man.
Like he comments on like when they made the hype video, he commented on it, like as well. Like, he's still,
I think he trolls though. I think he's trolls.
Yeah.
He's good, man. He's good. I think he's fine. He'll be all right. I hope he gets better. And I wish him the best. He's a great player. I wish he would have been a Yankee forever, but hey, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
Well, like I say all the time, as somebody that covers both teams, I want both the Yankees and the Mets to be good at the same time. It makes it even better to cover baseball during the baseball season. It makes the time that we spend from March all the way to October amazing in the summertime when that rivalry is at an all-time high, when both teams are competitive and both teams are competing for something that's good.
Yeah, exactly. As far as everything else, man, like I said, when it comes to the Mets, we'll see you guys in the World Series if you guys can make it. So
that's fighting words.
They got to worry about. They better start worrying about the Dodgers and not worry about us. So
they better worry about the Marlins.
Yeah. Now, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, since we haven't had a show since opening day at Yankee Stadium, the ABS over the weekend. Because the first two series against San Francisco and Seattle, the Yankees looked like they had the ABS system locked and ready to go. They knew exactly what it was. This series against the Marlins, not that much. More Ben Rice. Ben Rice had some challenges that he called and went the other way. In Sunday's game, the Yankees used up their ABS challenges, and in that ninth inning, you saw that there was some pitches that maybe if you had some ABS challenges, you could have used it in the bottom of the ninth inning. So I want to ask you guys on the panel, folks in the chat, what was your thought of ABS over the weekend?
To me, it was one bad series with ABS. It's still early. Guys are still trying to figure it out. I do wish certain guys would use a little bit more Aaron Judge, because it seems like he's still so humble that he's kind of just accepting the outcome. There were a couple of questionable pitches where I'm like, bro, you're not getting called for the low strike, but there are a couple pitches that are a little bit high on you, dude. If anybody deserves to use it, it's you. Use that shit. Put yourself in a better hitters count so you can do some damage. Like I said, it was the first bad series for ABS, so I'm not overly panicking. The league is still trying to figure it out. The umpires are still trying to figure it out. It's a game by game basis, but I do agree with you. We kind of did burn through them rather quickly. And then the umpires seem to kind of be licking his chops with bad calls in the ninth inning. We're like, oh, they're out. I can call whatever I want. It's as simple as that. And it's tough, man, but you got to be able to kind of just use it more responsibly in better situations. If it's a situation that's going to get you a run, definitely. If it's a difference between getting struck out with the bases loaded and walking with the bases loaded, yes, use it. But if it's on the first pitch, bro, just adapt, man. You don't have to use it to make it a 1-0 or 0-1 count if you're like a Jazz Chisholm or Austin Wells or Ben Rice. But yeah, you just got to be more aware, more responsible with using it.
Yeah, I agree with Ace, man. You got to have more situational awareness. Some of those calls, unless you're like, unless you better be certain that that the challenge is going to be overturned. That if it's not in a situational awareness spot, like Ace said, if it's bases loaded, full count, 2 outs or something like that, or second and third, 1 out, and it warrants it, then yeah. But that's why I think Judge doesn't use it a lot, because he's like, it's not even worth it. It's not worth taking the risk sometimes. If it's, he's leading off, or whatever, it's 2 outs and it's just 0-2 count, or something like that. I think that, yeah, certain people should use it. Certain people should have some more restrictions on it. And I think it should be maybe a merit-based type situation. They need to sit down and be like, Ben Rice, well, your challenges, you're 0 for 4 or 2 for 7 or whatever it is. So you can't use it no more unless it's the ninth inning or something like that. But I think the ABS, though, it's a tool, and you better figure out how to use it. And I think especially if you're down to one challenge, I would tell my team, you better be right. You better not waste the second challenge, because it could change the outcome of a game.
Yeah, we actually saw it too. There was actually a game that it was like a walk
Hector froze.
Hector froze. Yeah.
We're interested to see what he says when he comes back.
Am
But
I
yeah,
back?
you're
Yeah, you
back.
back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, my fault. I was saying my fault that it froze. I was saying that we had a walk off ABS
Mhm.
over the past few days in one of the games that it was a pitch
Orioles
that was
game.
called the ball. It was an Orioles game, right? That was a pitch that was called the ball, and then it was the ABS came, overturned it. It was a strikeout. So, like you said, these are pitches. These are calls that can affect the ending of the game. So it's good to have at least one in your back pocket going into the bottom of the ninth inning, especially if you're trailing.
Yeah, that call ended the game. I'm interested to see when a call decides a game. Like, what if it's bases loaded, bottom of the ninth inning, tie ball game, and it comes down to that? Like, that's what I'm interested to see. But as far as the New York Yankees, they were good in the first two series. Coming home, the weather was bad. Maybe the radar was a little bit off. Maybe we'll be better when it comes to this upcoming series. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, the Yankees, they're 7-2 to start the season. Um, and the conversation, I know we had it a little bit to start the show, but I want to continue the conversation just a little bit when it comes to Jason Dominguez, when it comes to the Yankees minor league system, Carlos Lagange, Elmo Rodriguez Cruz as well, Oswaldo Cabrera. When do you think these players will get called up, or if they will get called up? Because Oswaldo is having a good start to his season down there at AAA with Scranton as well. He's made some nice defensive plays. He's got on base. He's got some key hits in big time situations. So it's interested to see what the Yankees are going to do with him. Are the Yankees letting them be successful in the minor league so they could package them or put them together in a trade with another team? I remember on April 1st, I've got a bunch of people texting me that the Yankees traded Oswaldo, and I'm like, no, it's April Fools. You guys got to just calm the fuck
down. It's tough, man, because these guys need a lane. They really do. They need a lane to be able to come up here. Like you were talking about the kid from the Dodgers that just doesn't have a lane, but with another team, they call him up ASAP. If Dominguez was an infielder, like if Dominguez was third baseman, no problem, call him up. But he's not.
ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP. If Spencer Jones is right-handed and also an infielder, call him up. That'd be great. But the Yankees don't have a lane because of what they've created. And I hark back to how did it start? Giving Trent Grisham $22 million. That's how it started. You offering him that qualifying offer. You're going to block one of these guys, and you're particularly blocking Jason Dominguez. Do I want to see Spencer Jones up here at some point in time? Yeah, but I'm going to take him for what he's worth. He's going to be a guy that's going to come up here, hit you a bunch of home runs, but then strike out a lot. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. But I still think the ceiling for Jason Dominguez is really high on this kid, and I want to see him given a fair shot because for 3 years already, he hasn't got a fair shake. He's been blocked almost every step of the way, and it feels like sometimes the Yankees don't have that faith in him. A guy like Cabrera as well. I hark back to 2024, where Soto and Cabrera were off to the hottest starts possible, and for a guy like Cabrera, he got off to such the hottest start you could ask for him. Then all of a sudden, we're going against the Miami Marlins, and Boone and company sat him for 3 straight games for John Birdie to go against his former team, and then you cooled him down. These guys need the opportunity to play. I understand with a guy like Cabrera, he's a Swiss Army knife. That's also part of he's a victim of. The fact that I would love to have him out there at shortstop or third base. He'd be better than what we have right now, at least. And defensively, he brings a lot to the table. But it just comes down to there's no lane for these guys because you brought back Cody Bellinger. You brought, which a lot of us wanted. You brought back Trent Grisham. A lot of us didn't want. And then you signed Randall Gerchick as well. So they don't really have an opportunity to come up here and thrive.
Yeah, I think we will see some of them, but it's gonna unless there's like an injury, especially for position players, right? Because position players in the pitching situation is a little different. I do think that the bullpen, if these guys don't perform, we're gonna see some of these younger guys up here sooner than later. Position players is different. I think it would have to be an injury or something like that for Dominguez to get up here or something like that. Yeah, they're not just gonna DFA Randall Gerchick or something like that. Not yet, anyway. It's still too early. But I do think that at some point, some of these guys will get a chance. But like you said, there's really no lane. And I want to ask you guys this. Do you think because there's really no lane, do you think it's better to trade some of these guys to get something that can impact the team right now?
It depends on one, what's out there, and two, does it fit with the Yankees, right? Because right now, I think the one spot we can say we need to improve is third base. And when you look at Ryan McMahon, he's making 16 million this season. He's making 16 million next season. So if there was a partner for the New York Yankees to trade with, even if we were to get somebody to play third base, we're still stuck with Ryan McMahon and his $16 million. If we're trying to get off of Ryan McMahon because his bat can't do anything at the major league level, no team is going to just be willing to bring him back, especially if he's owed $16 million next year. So not only do the Yankees or do Brian Cashman, not only does he have to give up the prospects in order to acquire a player, he also have to give up the prospects to entice the opposing team or another team to take on a bad contract. So it's like he has to give up double the prospects than you would have to do if you didn't have Ryan McMahon on this team. So he's working between a rock and a hard place, if you get what I mean.
Or eat a lot of that contract from McMahon if you're going to trade him away.
Or be willing to, or be willing to eat his $16 million that's left on the books for next year.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough because, like, and this is what we're talking about. We've talked about all off season. It's roster construction, roster building, right? A lot of people keep bringing this up. Cade Winquist, haven't even seen him this year. He has to be on a 26-man roster because of the Rule 5 draft. What if you're not going to play him? Why are you holding on to this guy? Like, the Yankees continue to do this. It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. They don't want to give up players, but then they also don't want to play them either. They just want to, like, stock them up for what? You're not getting anything for them. Like, and the Yankees love their players with flexibility, with options, because they can send them up and down as they please. Like a guy like Caballero, when Volpe comes back up, Caballero's probably getting sent back down because if you look at it, you can't send back down Ahmed Rosario because he's over a 5-year veteran. You can't send him down. The only person that you can't send down is Caballero if Volpe wins that spot. But when it comes down to these trading for some of these guys, if the right moves present itself, like I would have been okay with trading a Spencer Jones for like a Mason Miller. You get what I'm saying? Because that's a proven commodity and it gives you somebody that you can currently use now. But the reason why I'm also not so stuck on you got to get rid of these guys, because Grisham's not going to be here next year, hopefully. Bellinger does have opt-outs in a couple of years. You don't want to trade away the future for guys that might not even be here in a couple of years. And then you also have to see how the lockout ultimately plays out. But if you have an influx of, if you have a lot of these guys, like our outfield is jam-packed. That's the problem. So one of them are going to have to go. I don't think we'll see. I think Spencer Jones is more likely to get traded than Jason Dominguez will. If these guys were infielders, we wouldn't have a problem. Like, this is why we kind of hope a guy like George Lombard Jr. can kind of get fast-tracked up here because, like, we can use him.
I think that's your that solves third base right there, probably, you know.
I think
even shortstop. He can solve shortstop because defensively he is the best glove in the Yankee system. It's just what is his bat going to do? And he's gotten off to a very solid start in the minors. So George Lombard, his bat is starting to look like it's coming around. So that's something that Brian Cashman is hoping comes around sooner rather than later. But to your point, going back to your point, Ace, I would have loved to trade Spencer Jones for Mason Miller. 100%. The Athletics, they got back a better package from San Diego than they would have gotten back from the New York Yankees, especially when you look at Leo DeVries, who's the number one international prospect, one of the top 3 prospects in all of Major League Baseball as a 19-year-old shortstop. Yeah, I would have loved Mason Miller, but our prospects aren't getting Mason Miller. And it also depends who else is in the race, because if the Yankees are bidding with, let's say, the New York Mets for any top player that's available at the trade deadline, if it comes down between a bidding war between the New York Yankees and the Mets with their prospects, the Mets are going to win it because they have higher ranked prospects than the New York Yankees. And that's one thing some Yankee fans can't stomach. We love our young players. We love Carlos LeGrand. I love Carlos LeGrand. He barely made the top 100 list when it comes to prospects. He's not a top 50 prospect. He's a top 80 prospect, right? I love ERC. He's not a top 50 prospect. He's a top 90 prospect, right? So that's the reality when it comes to the Yankees and our minor league system. We have a lot of young players that we love, but when you compare them to the other prospects and the other systems in Major League Baseball, it's not one of the top systems.
Yeah, and people don't want to say this, but I will. There's a Yankee tax. There really is a Yankee tax. We've seen it.
I mean, yeah, but like the whole Miller thing, man, they got Leo DeVries. They traded Leo, I think his name is Leo DeVries, to the A's for Mason. He was the top prospect. Before Connor Griffin became the top prospect, it was this guy.
He was the number one prospect in baseball.
The number one prospect in baseball they gave him. And then Spencer Jones is not even in the top 100 right now. I think that look, even besides that, I think that a guy like Lombard Jr., my thing is, the way I see it is, look, what are you getting from shortstop and third base right now? What are you getting from them offensively? I don't even care if this dude could come up and hit 200, I'll be happy right now. We're not even getting that from the left side of the infield right now. So I think sometimes the Yankees, they're very hesitant to kind of go out on the limb and just take a leap of faith and say, you know what, let's see what this guy can do. Screw it. Here you go, man. You know, here's your opportunity. Run with it.
Except for Volpe.
Volpe got it. Yeah, Volpe got it. Caballero's getting a chance now, but he's not doing nothing with it. I say give Lombard a chance. What do we got to lose at this point, man? McMahon's hitting 087, bro. And I get it's still early. And I hope he turns it around because I don't want to give up on McMahon. I really don't, because I like him defensively. But man, we got a lot of guys in the minor leagues who could play a hell of a third base, you know, and they can't hit.
I tell you right now, for Somerset to start the season, it's only 2 games. But George Lombard, in those 2 games, he has 10 plate appearances, 9 at-bats. He has 6 hits. He scored 3 runs, 2 doubles, 1 home run, 1 RBI, a stolen base. Like I said, he has a 667 batting average, a 700 on-base percentage, and his slugging is over 1,200. It's only 2 games.
Did he start in AAA?
No,
he's in Double A. He's with Somerset.
Okay.
But his numbers,
and that's what, and that's what the my fault. That's what the Yankees won. For some weird ass reason, Double A is seen as better competition than AAA. AAA is seen as more quadruple players than major league players. Double A is where all the top prospects are actually. So if George Lombard can hit anywhere between 270, 300 for Somerset and AAA, or even hit above 300, then you could tell that he's ready for the big leagues. My fault, Ace.
No, you good. Shout out to New York Rican for the 5. Ace, I feel what you're saying, but Jason's had setbacks. Yeah, he has, no doubt. And that contributes to it. But it's the fact that he's never really gotten a fair shake. Like with Anthony Volpe, we all know when Anthony Volpe gets back, they're going to hand him the reins, whether it's because shortstop is needed or because he's the golden boy. It's as simple as that when it comes to Volpe. But when it comes to a guy like George Lombard Jr., even if you hark back to last season, towards the end of last season, his numbers look really good compared to when he first got there. So, but like, you know, you and I have talked about this a lot on the channel, Hector. You're absolutely right. A lot of Major League Baseball look at Double A like the stepping off point. If you're good here, then you can get fast tracked through AAA. We've seen guys like Volpe, Rice have very minimum at bats in AAA and get sent up really quickly. But to me, it never really makes sense because like a lot of MLB ready players are at AAA. A lot of guys that are kind of at the cusp of, we don't have the room for you, but you're good enough to be here, but we don't have the room, so we're gonna send you down there. So I would think that if you spent more time in AAA, you would get more experience. But when it comes down to a guy like Lombard Jr., as far as what Jason was saying, you could fast track him up here, and whatever you get from him is what you get. But it's like I don't want to hurt him in the long haul by him coming up here when he's not ready. Because our roster construction was so terribly that you have to kind of rely on a young guy to come up here. The young guy should contribute, not be forced to carry the team.
I just gotta say real quick, guys, it's 12:20. We're going to rock out for like the next 10, 15 more minutes. It's your guy Hector Bochin from Latino Sports, Uptown Sports, the Ace Avenue from Uptown Sports and the Ace Avenue, and Jason Custodio from the Jason Custodio channel. If you guys can, make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. The link to all of our channels are in the chat and in the description of this video. So please make sure you guys are going to give my guy Jason a follow over there. And I want to ask this question and then pose a question. Anthony Volpe's he's making his way back. He'll probably be back maybe, I want to say, by the middle of next month, end of next month. If George Lombard, if he's hitting over 300 for Somerset, does he get called up? Is Anthony Volpe's job on the line? Like, what happens when it comes to the battle of the shortstop between Anthony Volpe and George Lombard Jr.?
Honestly, I think at the earliest, at the very earliest, we might be able to see him up September call-ups. If not, if we have baseball next season, and that's a big if, I want to see him in a full competition for a left side of the infield, whether that's short, third, his glove translates to. I'm not going to say second, but that could be the case. It could be second base because I'm not entirely sure the Yankees want to bring back Jazz. We don't know that. We don't know what's going to happen. So maybe that position's open. Maybe shortstop's open. They move Volpe to second base. I don't know. We have to wait to see how it plays out. But as far as if he's balling out, the earliest we might be able to see him up might be September call-ups. But it still like kind of blows my mind that we might be able to see him up here before Spencer Jones, only because Jones is kind of blocked. But it is what it is when it comes to that. But we'll ultimately have to see what happens. I think if he doesn't get called up September this year, he balls out next year. If there's baseball, there's no excuse. Give him a fair opportunity, like you gave Volpe versus Peraza.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I agree with Ace, man. It's gonna be tough to see him early. Like a lot will have to go really, really wrong for Lombard to be up here anytime soon. I think Volpe's job is safe as long as Caballero keeps playing the way he's playing, right? Caballero, even if Caballero was batting 300 and playing decent, I think Volpe's job was safe. He was gonna get a shot to take his role back. It's for Volpe to move out of the shortstop position for the Yankees. It's gonna be up to Caballero this year anyway. Maybe next year things could change. We don't know what's gonna happen with Jazz. I think, if anything, George Lombard Jr. has a better chance of taking over third base. If anything, maybe. The way McMahon has been playing. It's one of those situations, man, that, is he ready? I don't know. But I think Volpe's good. Volpe right now, he's got to be like, if he was sweating in his boots before, he's chilling right now. He's like, okay, this guy, I'm good. Yankee, we can't. I'm not gonna lie, we actually kind of miss him, Volpe, at this point, man. I'm like, bring him back, bro. Give him back. Yeah. Bring him back, man. I hope he comes back better. I'm starting to buy into it. Maybe it was the shoulder. Maybe it was the shoulder that was just messing him up all season long.
Buying into the Yankee hype, the propaganda.
I'm buying into it, bro. Sync line. Did you not just hear my Zelle notification from Brian Cashman? I'm a Yankee shill, bro. I'm a shill for the New York Yankees. No, but in all reality, I think Anthony Volpe's job will be safe no matter what happens, barring injury from either Volpe or Jose Caballero. I think if George Lombard, or when he gets the call up, it will happen in September. Something crazy has to happen to either Volpe or to Caballero. If that's the only scenario I can see George Lombard gets the call up during the season, outside of being a September call up. But I can see a scenario, knowing the New York Yankees, and tell me if I'm off base, knowing how they operate, knowing how internally the Yankees love trolling their fan base. I could see a scenario in September that George Lombard and Anthony Volpe are in the same lineup, but Anthony Volpe is a shortstop and George Lombard is a second baseman in that game. I can see the New York Yankees rolling out that lineup just to troll their fan base in September. I can see that. Am I off base?
No. They've done crazier things before.
Yeah, Miguel Andujar, IKF. Yeah, the list goes on and on. And this is it's frustrating because, like, George Lombard Jr., his glove is major league ready. We've seen it. It plays well. A good glove can play well to the major league level. The bat, he just has to be like, I'm not asking him to hit 400. Come up here and give us like 270, 280, and he's got some pop. We've seen it in spring training. Like, he just needs a little more time, man. He needs a little more seasoning, bro. He's just not quite there yet, and I don't want to rush him up here and it be a hinder to him. That's why I really think him and McMahon are tied together. I think their timelines are tied together. I think they'll play it out this year. If he balls out, maybe give him a shot in September call-ups, where you can only call up 2 guys now. So it just depends. Like, will that be Spencer Jones? I'm hoping it's not Jason Dominguez. I'm hoping he's up here by then. But then, like, as McMahon is kind of getting phased out next year, it's a lot easier to eat $16 million next year if McMahon is struggling and Lombard Jr. is ready to go, rather than eat $32 million this year, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, because even if it was till half the season, the Yankees are not going to eat. Was it half of was that $24 million in order to get rid of Ryan McMahon? I don't think that's going to happen. Shout out to my guy John, NYC Pinstripe Club in the building. Any last specific topics, Jay, you want to touch on before we get ready to wrap things up and get out of here?
Quickly, can we have the Jazz Chisholm conversation? I feel like this
Go
is.
ahead.
I mean, how do you guys feel about Jazz Chisholm right now? I'm not gonna lie, like I love Jazz. The talent he has so much talent, this guy, but he can't get out of his own way. I don't see him coming back. I don't think the Yankees should re-sign him right now. You know, and one play I want to bring up specifically, that one play that he kind of lollygagged. It was all flat-footed, and I don't know if it was Cabrera or whoever it was that just kind of beat out a routine ground ball to second base, and he beat it out to first. Like, it's little things like that that really bother me, or getting picked off at first. I love Jazz, and I really want to, like, I want him to be that guy that was going to come here and just be the second baseman we've been longing for a long time now. He just hasn't, man. I think he's more of a detriment to the team. Me personally, until he could get this up here right, I think he's more of a detriment than he is a asset, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's tough because Jazz has the talent, no doubt. He has the tools, no doubt. But sometimes when it's up here, it sucks. I thought we got rid of that shit a couple of years ago. Like, it's like the Scooby-Doo mysteries. You pull off the mask and it's like, Gleyber Torres, what are you doing back? That's exactly how I feel when it comes to Jazz sometimes, where he's just doesn't have his head in the game. We saw it the other day where he was more concerned about, you know, the penguin glove getting on than actually, you know, paying attention to the pitch. So it's like, you know, I could agree. There are times where he's a complete detriment to the team. Offensively, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself when you're like, yo, I could be 50-50. You're creating a lot of holes in your swing when you have the athleticism where I would love for you to just be able to slap the ball around the infield and with your hustle, get it on first base and beat it out then, you know. But instead, you know, that short porch looks very close and you want to be swinging for the fences because you know you're about to get paid. I think he's feeling a lot of pressure from the contract year. I really do. And it's apparent with his start so far.
Yeah, I want to play this real quick. This is after the game that the Yankees lost.
You made it close, obviously, driving into there with that double. You were down 0-2 in the count. Just take me through that at bat for you.
I mean, you know, I haven't been getting any hits or anything like that lately. So right there, I just feel like I just put it out there for my team, you know. Got to go out there, got to find a way to get on, and he gave me a pitch to hit and stayed locked in. You know, I know I was already 0-4 for the night, so anything to help my team.
Think that can help you kind of get on the right track offensively?
Yeah, I feel like that could help a lot, especially at the end of the night, even though, you know, taking in a loss, it don't feel good, you know, even though things went right in that at bat. But right now we're just working day to day, getting better every at bat, and hoping to get hot here soon.
That's, I want to say, the saddest and low energy I've seen from Jazz Chisholm. Even though he had that double in the 9th inning, you can tell that he's feeling it a little bit. And as you said, Ace, and maybe from the contract year.
And you've met him, so you know. You know.
Yeah, Jazz is never like that, you know. And I'm not sure if there was a conversation in the locker room after the game, but Jazz, that's the saddest I've ever seen him, or low energy I've ever seen him. Shout out to my guy Jacob Petruzzi in the building.
I want to redact my comments. Now I feel bad for him.
Now you feel bad.
I want to see Jazz win. I really do. Like, and because I think the talent's there, man. He can really, he's an impact player. You know, when he's on. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's too much hanging out. Maybe it's too much pressure of a contract year, or I'm not sure what it is. But he's not off to a good start of the
No.
season.
Also, too, if you guys remember, he did get off to a slow start last year as well. The first month of the season, or the first couple of weeks of the season before turning it on. So I just think it's just early season jitters. You know, he was with team was with Great Britain during the World Baseball Classic for that first pool. So you know, he just has to get back into the flow of things, and all the talent is there for Jazz Chisholm. Can he put it together? He was 30-30 last year. I definitely think he could have been 40-40. I expect him to have a solid season this year. Now, the outside noise from the fans that are booing him, or the outside noise from people who like trolling him online, would that affect him? I'm not sure. But if he can tune out that noise and just focus on the game of baseball, I think Jazz Chisholm could have a great year for the New York Yankees. And if you're a Yankee fan, you want him to have that good season, because that means that the Yankees, they've made it far if you're getting great production, solid production from your second baseman.
Yeah. Look, I don't, I can't speak for anybody else. You're wearing the pinstripes. I'm rooting for you. I'm not going to root up for you. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, I hope this motherfucker strikes out. I hope he hits into a double play. No, you're right. I want you to go up there and do as well as possible. He's got the tools, no doubt. But like I said, I think he's feeling a little bit of the pressure from the contract and all the talk that he's doing, because he's got to put his foot in his own mouth at least to start. Like, bro, just go out there and play, bro. Like, let your play do the talking at the end of the day. And we know ultimately see what happens. Somebody was like, I wouldn't give Jazz the QO. I would, because I don't think he'll take it. So therefore, unlike what happened last year with Trent Grisham, I have to look at what the numbers would be for second base market as well. I don't think he'll take it, because he's sitting here saying he wants 30 something to $40 million a year, which ultimately the market would dictate how much he's getting paid. But you want to talk about a chance to steal a draft pick, it might be next year.
Yeah, and even if he was to take the qualifying offer, even if he was to come back on a 1 year, $22 million, the same that Trent Grisham got, when you look at the market for second baseman, I could give you 30-30, or has the potential to give you 30-30 production with a solid, close to Gold Glove second base, Gold Glove defense at second base. I'll take that for $22 million. It just depends if there's a team that's going to come out there and sign Jazz Chisholm. Now, I believe that there's a team that would sign Jazz Chisholm more than Trent Grisham, because Jazz is younger. There's more of an upside to Jazz. So yeah, you slap on that QA, you're definitely going to get a draft pick if a team comes out of nowhere and wants to sign him.
Yeah, I'm looking at the second base draft free agents next year, and there's a lot out there. Glaber. Anybody want to see Glaber back?
There are some people that would do, but he could definitely get paid, because like, you got to think the next couple of free agencies, the position play. We talked about this a lot here. Heck, the position players aren't great. So he might go out there and be one of the best position players that's out there. So go out there and, slap him with the QO and let him test the market. Maybe it's some team out there that thinks, you know what, I'm a second baseman away, and you end up getting a pick. But especially with the situation the Yankees have with Volpe, you got George Lombard Jr. Hell, you even got Roderick Arias, and then in a couple of years you got Dax Kilby. Are they really going to tie themselves to Jazz Chisholm long term? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Jazz Chisholm's agent is Rock Nation Sports. So shout out to them.
Shout out to Rock Nation. They do some work. The people that's behind the sports management with Latino Sports, and my guy Brian Fonseca. So shout out to them. I was sitting on 5,773 subscribers. We're trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. We're trying to make that push by the All-Star game, about a postseason. So if you're watching this, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to shout out the chat as we get out of here. Ness, shout out to you. Appreciate you for being in the building. Eddie Trinidad, shout out to you as well. My guy Mark T. Maker in the building. Theo Nosebleed Section, shout out to you. Jacob Petruzzi, one of the better moderators that's out there. My guy Jonathan is in the building. New York Rican, thank you so much for the super chats today on the chat as well. The Pinstripe Bugle E, thank you so much. The Lulu Yankee fan, thank you as well. Blaze 455 in the building. NYCC Money. My guy Sean Browning. Appreciate everybody who chimed in. 80 snaps as well in the building. If I didn't say your name, I do apologize, but appreciate all you guys that are in the building. It's my guy Jason Custodio. Make sure you guys follow him. His link to his channel is in the comment section. Jason, last message for the people as we get out of here.
I mean, last message just be, look, the team is I get it. We're not perfect, but no team is perfect right now. I like our chances right now. This team, the trajectory is, we can only go up from here, right? So let's not be too down. And let's go Yankees, baby. It's looking good so far.
Mm-hmm. Ace, last message for the chat.
Right there with you. 7-2, off to a good start. Got to keep it going tonight versus a very feisty young A's team. Look forward to seeing what Nick Kurtz can do. A lot of people were very high on him, and you got to go out there and handle your business. Would love to get a sweep, but if you continue to win these series, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Delulu and my guy Yankee Dave in the chat. Insurance Reyes 6784. Appreciate you. Ben Rice cooking up. We need to be talking more about him. Arroz con habichuela. Absolutely. Yankee fans. The Yankees are 7-2. We have a full season, 162 games. You don't win the championship in the first week of April. Let's see what happens at the trade deadline. Let's see what happens at the All-Star game and the postseason. But until next time, I'm Hector.
Yours truly, the Ace.
Jason.
This has been another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Until next time, peace. Arrivederci. Drink some water. Say something positive about yourself. And,
of course, shout out to lovely Grace Monroe. Appreciate you as well.
Of course, got to shout out to lovely Grace Monroe, the bestie who's not here. Until next time, Yankee fans, deuces. Bye.
Peace, y'all.